I'm pretty sure it will. Alright. We should be streaming.
Perfect.
Alright. We're here. Where's the chat? Let me get the chat up. Yo, what's up, guys? I think people are in here. Fuck.
We should somehow put this chat on this screen.
You want to put the chat over here?
Maybe so I can read some questions? Or is that...
It's kind of in the way.
Yeah, we can put it.
Why isn't this pop?
What's going on?
Oh, what's on, guys? What's on, guys? Steven, Masa. Alright, guys. Yeah, this is the first time. Addy's the GOAT. Yeah, I know. Hope you guys enjoyed that week of NHL. Really missing that beard, Addy.
I know. It's coming back. I'm growing it back soon.
Alright, guys. Yeah, this is our first run of it. We don't really know how we're going to structure it yet. I think we're going to go a bit game by game, but make sure to throw some questions in the chat and we'll answer them.
And let us know. Let us know how you guys want this structured as well.
Yeah, for sure. Which one of you are the snitch?
Which one of y'all? We should, I mean, do you want to adjust that? Should we talk about that? We're going to put out a statement so that it's a little more clear, but
yeah,
we can save it. We can talk about it.
I wonder if it's possible to win by fading Boban. I think it is possible to fade him. I mean, in a perfect world, he would play 22, 24 minutes, but I think it's very likely that he only plays like 16, 18 minutes and scores like 20, 22 points, which is great for 3.5K on DraftKings, or you drop score on Fanduel at 3.8K. But the guy I really want at center is DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, averaging 1.39 points per minute, coming off that minutes limit of 25 minutes. I think he plays 30, 32 minutes in a pace-up game against the Kings. Kings are second in the league in terms of pace. So yeah, I want to target DeMarcus Cousins today more than Boban, especially on FanDuel, where you can only play one of them. Okay, you can see this.
Is there any way to copy that link and send that to me so I can open that chat on my?
Yeah, I'll send it.
Cause let me open this on here so I can read these.
There you go. I think Cantor could get the minutes. Yeah. Well, whenever he's on the slate. I doubt it. Iguodala on DK. No, I'm not really on Iguodala today. Boban never ever plays 30 minutes like ever. I mean, there was no way. No one's projecting him to play that many minutes. 18 to 20 minutes is a reasonable range. Averaging 1.35 fantasy points per minute on the year. Obviously playing a Heat team who has 2 7-footers, so it is possible that they throw out Olynyk and Hassan Whiteside out there, which they would need Boban's size. I think most likely he gets the start, plays like an 8-minute stint, comes back in, plays like a 2-minute stint to end the half and the end of the second half as well, so he ends up getting around 20 minutes. I could see something like that. How do you feel about playing Draymond alongside Boogie? Yeah, I mean, I love Draymond tonight. Pace-up game against the Kings, second in pace. I just mentioned that. That's really the kind of games that you want to target Draymond in. 6K on DraftKings is just way too cheap. I think 6.8K is fair on FanDuel as well, where you get 3 points for blocks and steals. That's kind of Draymond's game.
How about Paul LeLoc? 7.6 on DK seems way too cheap. And on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, Paul is definitely way too cheap. On FanDuel, he's definitely locked because I think the point guard position is fairly weak. I like him. I like De'Aaron Fox. I like Bledsoe. But on DraftKings, I've really waffled back and forth between him and Devin Booker. I think I like Chris Paul more than Devin Booker, but it is very close. And then you obviously have Ben Simmons at 7.9K. Who averages 1.33 fantasy points per minute with Embiid off the court, but now that they have Tobias out there, and then if Boban's out there, Boban's going to take up usage, so and going to take away rebounds away from Ben Simmons. So I think I like those guys more than Ben Simmons, but it is close. Karis LeVert or Allen Crabbe. I mean, if you can project, we saw last game. It was in a triple overtime, but Karis LeVert played, I believe, the first 2 minutes of the first overtime. and got up to 30 minutes, but he did play 27, 28 minutes in regulation. And so after coming out of the All-Star break, if he can play 30, 31 minutes, he's probably the best player on the slate on both sides. Addy, do you like anyone from Ottawa tonight?
I saw that. I not really actually, but I mean I like Ottawa because should I even talk?
I gotta go for it, man.
Yeah, I mean I like Ottawa because they generate a lot of high danger chances, but New Jersey's actually been pretty good at suppressing those, so I'm not looking too much at them. They're cheap on Fanduel though. But let's do NBA though.
Yeah, Fox or Bledsoe if you have money left over on Fanduel. I'm gonna take Fox there because I really want to see how the Milwaukee Bucks team shakes out with Nikola Mirotic now in the lineup. Don't know how many minutes he's really going to be playing. Maybe 20, 22. Obviously upside for more, but I'll take De'Aaron Fox. I think he's over that shoulder injury. Going to be playing 30, 32 minutes. The only downside is that earlier in the year he was playing like 36, 37 minutes a game, and his minutes are clearly just going to remain down just because they have so many pieces around them. And you obviously have to give minutes to Bogdanovic, who I think is a great play on DraftKings at 4.5K. That's way too cheap. Him versus LeVert's really close for me. I think I like LeVert a bit more, but if you need the savings, I would go down to Bogdanovic. And around that range, I like Wade and Eric Gordon a ton just because if Goran Dragic, he's available to play, but don't know if he's going to play. I hope we get word before. It is the first game of the slate, so we will know before, hopefully. And if he's out, I like Wade a ton. I think his minutes come back up to 26, 28 minutes, averaging 1.13 fantasy points per minute. And a decent matchup against the 76ers. They're usually a pretty stout defense, but without Embiid out there, I don't think they're the best. You got any plays today?
I mean, just to follow up on that shooting guard thought, on that and that same price range on FanDuel, I actually like Marcus Smart as well. I think with the defensive stats on FanDuel, as well as the fact that Milwaukee allows the most 3-point attempts per game, puts him in a good spot. Gordon Hayward being out kind of secures his minutes a bit. He's not going to be a big usage guy, but he's still going to be able to contribute in a faceted way. He gives him a higher floor, so I like him in that price range as well. If the Goran Dragic news does, gets weighed out of play or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I think shooting guard is definitely the toughest position tonight. There's a bunch of options. I think a lot of people are going to go to Harden tonight. We don't want to give away too much information because this is just a public live stream. Mm-hmm. But we'll talk about it more in the private live stream in the Slack, and it'll be in the lock sheets as well. But yeah, I think paying up for Harden or LeBron is kind of a must tonight. Bogdanovic or Gordon, see, that's really close because Gordon, you're going to get like 36, 38 minutes in a pace-up game against the Lakers, or you're going to play Bogdanovic, who's a big-time dog. The way the rotation works for Sacramento, he will play into a blowout, but he won't close the game just because he's a good enough player not to be closing in blowouts. But if you can project 8 more minutes for Eric Gordon than Bogdanovic, I think I'm going to side with Eric Gordon against the Lakers tonight. But it is very close.
Think Bolden gets some playing time?
I could see Amir Johnson getting more run tonight. I'm not really predicting that outside of Boban.
Right. I will say that just the fact that you're asking that question does talk about the risk that comes with Boban. I know he's cheap and min-price, but just the fact that we could see Spoelstra go small here. I know they do have 2 big 7-footers, but we've seen Spoelstra in the past years hit not as much this year, but last year obviously a plenty. But he will just bench Hassan Whiteside. I'm sure he's doing it a little bit this year. I've seen Hassan Whiteside get into 20 minutes. So if he does bench him, you could see Boban play in his 12, 13 minutes. And then you're passing up on the value of DeMarcus Cousins there. So I think it's worth considering the fact that we could see Amir Johnson, we could see Jonah Bolden, and those guys.
Yeah, I definitely see Cousins being the best play on the entire slate, especially on DraftKings. FanDuel, it's a bit different at 7.6K. But just the way he's playing right now, and then if he can get anywhere from, even if he gets 30 minutes, he's probably the best play. on the slate on FanDuel as well. Redick going to go off. Yeah, I was pretty high on Redick, especially on FanDuel. We're at a weak small forward position at 5.5K. His usage rate goes up to 30% with Embiid off the court, but that doesn't take in count that Tobias is on the team now. So he's going to be shooting. I think his usage rate remains 27-28% because they're going to need shooters out there, especially with Embiid out. So I don't mind JJ Redick.
Tyler Johnson tonight.
I don't know. It just doesn't really. I mean, obviously they're playing Cavaliers defense, who are by far the worst team in the league in terms of defensive rating. Don't know how many minutes he's gonna play. It's fluctuating quite a bit, and he hasn't played well with the Suns so far. So more of a wait and see approach for me. But 4.5K on draft or on FanDuel rather. I think it's worth a shot in GPP mostly, or if you're really just punting and paying up elsewhere. I don't mind them then. Harden isn't a must-play because CP3 will attempt to torch Rondo. Oh, yeah, I didn't even take in. I forgot about that fight. Right. But no, I think CP3 is a great play today for the price, both sides. He's one of the better plays. I definitely think he's a better point per dollar play than James Harden, especially with Clint Capella not probable. I didn't think he was going to come back this soon. But with everyone back, I feel like the assists are going to go down and the rebounds are definitely going to go down for James Harden. I think he's going to be very popular today, and obviously I can't blame you if you go play James Harden. I think he's a great play. Each and every night he's going to put up 60, 65 points, but I don't think the upside of like 80, 85 is really there with, like I said, Chris Paul's back, so his assist percentage goes way down, and with Clint Capella back, his rebound percentage is going to go way down, just because they have a real center rather than an undersized Kenneth Faried and PJ Tucker playing at the 5.
Right, and James Harden's a guy who's talked about this himself. He talked about the fact that when people have asked him how he's going to keep this up, he's talked about the fact that when everyone comes back, he's not going to have to keep playing it. To try this do everything kind of role. So, and there's also the fact that they could try and rest him a little bit with the playoffs coming up, so they could try and ease the workload on him intentionally as far as like a strategic thing. So there's that as well. Right. And let me know if you guys can hear me because I'm a little backed up from the mic.
No, I think it's fine. Yeah, I bet it's good. All right. Appreciate you guys doing this free stream. Yeah, man, I think we're going to start doing it Monday through Friday. Addie's actually visiting our place in Kansas City, but come next week, and we'll probably do the same thing tomorrow, but on Monday and on, it'll be more of a dual screen. We'll both be at our respective homes. But yeah, going to be doing this Monday through Friday. Hopefully bring this onto the MLB season, which is only a month away. Very excited for that.
Yep.
Lillard versus Brooklyn. Yeah, love Lillard. I think he's too expensive on DraftKings. I think he's on FanDuel rather. I think he's like 10.2K, but on DraftKings he's 8.6K, which I like him more than Steph Curry, who's 9K, and I think might be fairly popular for good reason. I mean, if you just look at it, the Warriors are projected for 125.5 points. It's one of the higher implied team totals I've seen this year. So I want to stack these Warriors as much as I can. I think Draymond and Boogie are the best guys to attack here. What about LeBron and Harden? Because there's so much value tonight. I love LeBron tonight. Also, if you're a betting guy, I believe it's almost plus money. I think it's actually like minus 105 for the Lakers to make the playoffs. I believe they're only 3 games behind the Clippers, who just gave up Tobias Harris. So I think they're kind of giving up on their playoff aspirations. So I would take that bet, Lakers making the playoffs this year. I doubt LeBron misses the playoffs.
Yeah, I like that bet a lot, and I am a betting guy. One sec, I saw a good question in here I wanted to get to.
You didn't do hockey, wasn't feeling it? I mean, man, it was a good time, man. I know everyone was playing great, and in just a week's time, I know you guys learned a lot because, that's what we're here to do, teach you guys how to become better DFS players. Irving versus Greek Freak. I don't know. I don't mind Irving as a play. I'm not really on Greek Freak. And I know Giannis is going to be higher owned than LeBron, and I'd way rather take my chances with LeBron now that Nikola Mirotic is there on the Bucks.
Cheap shooting guard on Fanduel, Wade, Waiters, anyone else. For me, I like Jaylen Brown a bunch. I think he's actually probably my favorite point per dollar option on Fanduel. 4-5 for all of the same reasons that I just talked about Marcus Smart about 10 minutes ago. Bucks allowing the most 3-point attempts per game. Pace up spot for Boston. No Gordon Hayward, so he should have a more secure minutes floor, more secure usage floor. And just too cheap, 4,500. That's way too cheap on FanDuel.
Morris or Horford on DK? Yeah, I like Horford a good bit. He's been performing really, really well with Kyrie off the court the last couple games before the All-Star break, but obviously Kyrie's back, and so I think at that price range, I'd rather play Draymond for the same price over Horford on DraftKings. And then I like Morris a good bit. He's sub 5K on DraftKings, only 5.2K on FanDuel. I think he's a really solid play. PrizePicks doesn't work in my state. Will they ever make it all states? Yeah, we had a meeting with the CEO of their company in New York not too long ago. Yeah, I think they're actively working on getting it in more and more states. Love playing over there on PrizePicks. It's pretty simple. And if you guys do sign up using our code LOCKS, you get a instant 50% deposit bonus. Let us know, and then we'll give you access onto our website, and we'll give you our favorite PrizePicks plays every single day. Paul Levert or Simmons and Brown for cash. That's close. It's really whether you like Simmons or not is the question. Having Tobias, and even with Embiid out, Boban's a very good rebounder. So if for most of the time it's Tobias and Boban out there, I think Simmons' rebound rate goes down a lot. I think I started with Paul and Levert, though.
Yeah, I'm on Paul Levert, too.
Thoughts on Middleton? Yeah, I'm just taking a backseat approach to these Bucks players now that Mirotic is there. Wait and see what goes on with that. What state are you in, Anthony, where you can't play PrizePicks? Also, a big thing. Yeah, Kuzma's not a bad play. The big thing, though, for Kuzma, Ingram, and LeBron, really, is the starting lineup. We saw the last two games before the All-Star break that LeBron was starting at point guard and Rondo was coming off the bench. Rondo did get over 30 minutes last game, but that was mostly because Kuzma, or who was it? It was McGee, Ingram. I think it was McGee and Ingram got in really bad foul trouble, so Rondo was forced to play. But they're trying to play LeBron at point guard as much as they possibly can. And the more he plays at point guard, I believe he averages 0.3 fantasy points, or more fantasy points per minute with Lonzo Ball and Rondo off the court when he's playing point guard. So if he's starting again, I absolutely love LeBron, and LeBron is a smash play. Against a Rockets team. They are one of the slowest teams in the league, but the Lakers are going to play fast regardless. I believe they're the fourth fastest team in the league over the course of the season. New York, which is shocking. Yeah, man. A lot of gamblers here in New York, yeah. Bullock messing up the Lakers' minutes, yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's kind of messy now. Derek Harris on DK, were there better players in that price range? Yeah, I don't mind him. I believe he's 6.6K on DraftKings. Not the worst play. I bet, I don't know. He's probably going to play 34, 35 minutes, depending on how close the game stays. But along with the Sixers, still, without Embiid, they're still priced appropriately, and it's a tough matchup against Miami, who is very good defensively. So I'd rather go elsewhere than a bunch of these Sixers, but I don't mind them. I like Jimmy Butler the most. I will say that. He averages 1.33 fantasy points per minute with Embiid off the court. But again, that doesn't take into account that Tobias Harris is now on the Sixers.
Addy, how long have you been playing NHL DFS? Like since Draft Street, so probably like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. It's been a while. Should I play Love over Kuzma? Have we gotten word on Love's minutes?
He's still on a minutes limit. I don't really trust it. I mean, on Fanduel, I guess in a GPP, you could take a chance. I think he's 5.7K. I wouldn't touch him on DraftKings. But on Fanduel at 5.7K, he's going to be active when he's out there. Going to be playing the 5. Nance, I assume, is going to play the 4. They might play Chetty there. But regardless, I think Love is a decent GPP play on Fanduel. Wouldn't touch him on DraftKings, though.
Yeah, I have a tough time clicking in Love over someone like Bagley or Marcus Morris even on Fanduel, just because you don't know what you're getting with them. But Bagley's a guy who could see the same amount of minutes and is a high fantasy point per minute guy producer, as we all know.
Right. Any thoughts on Clarkson? I mean, the guy has a 30% usage rating. And is playing big minutes. We saw last game when it went to triple overtime, he ended up playing like the last, well, it was like 32 minutes of the game. He came in with like 7 minutes left in the third quarter, played all the third quarter, played all the fourth quarter, then played all 3 overtimes, and did well, obviously, if you're given that much minutes with a 30% usage rating. Good matchup against the Suns. But the team is slowly getting healthy. And if Kevin Love is going to play 20 minutes, his usage rate's definitely going to go down a bit. So I don't mind Clarkson. I think he's too expensive on FanDuel. DraftKings, I think he's 5.7K. I don't mind him there. But more of a tournament play for me.
I say we answer this. So we're getting this question a lot. You guys going to answer the FanDuel cheat sheet questions. And you're right. We should answer this. The reason, I don't know if you were here earlier, we said we're putting out a statement about it just because we'd like to put that out officially before we talk about it. But you know what? Screw it. Like, we can just talk about it anyway. So, like, as you guys know, we had to do this with DraftKings already as far as providing full lineups and then switching to a cheat sheet after DraftKings reached out to us. I mean, obviously, you guys know we got banned on DraftKings. Our accounts got banned. And DraftKings told us to share this conversation with you guys. So, like, we wanted to do it more formally, but since we're getting kind of blown up about it in the chat, might as well just address it. So we just got off our third call with them today. All productive conversations, but we're working on getting our accounts back on DraftKings, as well as it says it ended. Did it end? Are we still here?
No, I think we're still here.
The comments have stopped. So damn, I don't want it to end in the middle of this.
Yeah, let me see. They took us down.
Did they?
No.
No, it's here. No, it's love. No, it's live.
It's
all right,
live.
it's back.
Yeah,
it's back.
It's live.
Okay, perfect. So, did I get cut out? If I got cut out, just let me know. Because I do want to. We do want to clear this up for you guys. So we will get to the questions, but. Okay, so just as we were saying,
I just do a quicker recap of it.
Yeah, super quick recap. So we've just been on calls with them as far as getting our accounts back and moving locks in a direction which is more positive for it and for you all as well. So that's the whole thing, and the same thing is going with FanDuel, because we're in the process, as DraftKings has said, of changing our perception, how we're viewed. But this is all coming in a statement, and it's all going to be for the better for you guys as well. So as of right now, to answer the question, no, it's just the lock sheet. And once the new website is up, we'll have articles, we'll be coming with rankings. Eventually we'll have optimizers, projections, but that's all down the line, but it's coming very soon as well. So we'll talk about it more in the future, but for now, we're just going to keep this for the NBA slate today.
Let's continue with the questions. Keep the questions rolling in. But yeah, I mean, in the long run, it'll be better for us. Does Locks DFS do MLB? Of course, man.
Of course.
I think that's all. That's probably our favorite sport to
We're
do.
so excited for
it's
MLB.
It's the most analytical.
Yeah, we love it.
Very, very fun for us. I think MLB has the most edge to be had. I honestly like the cheat sheet style better. It keeps trains out even in single entry formats. Of course, man. I mean, we're just trying to make you guys better players.
There's a reason it's like that. There's a reason that content is the biggest platform as opposed to lineup providers. It's just, there's a reason for that, you know.
Right. When baseball gets here, yeah, baseball's only a month away.
A month away. Yeah,
John's trying to get us in trouble.
Who? I didn't see anything.
No posting lineups.
Oh, right there. Yeah, guys.
We are not lineup providers.
Right. Just we're trying to refrain from any sort of full lineups in our mentions, anything like that. But we're more than willing to answer any sort of like 1v1s, 2v2s, strategy questions, slate questions. Are you overweight or underweight on this guy and his projected ownership? We can answer all of those stuff for you. So it's honestly more beneficial answers than just a lineup. Like,
yeah. Nice for Bagley. Oh, yeah. Bagley's probably one of our favorite GPP plays, especially on Fanduel. I think he's, 5.8K. They talked about how they wanted to get him more of a defined role in the offense. And some weird things have been happening in games, whether it be a blowout or foul trouble. But barring those two things, the guy will probably play 28, 30 minutes. And the latter half of the season that has happened so far has been averaging like 1.2 fantasy points per minute. Gets a solid matchup, I guess, versus the Golden State Warriors. Should be a high-scoring one. And at 5.8K, one of my favorite GPP plays on the entire slate on FanDuel.
Right. Sorry, just to touch on that. Golden State, third worst team in the league in second chance points. So that's beneficial for a guy like Marvin Bagley, who does a lot of his work on the offensive glass. And he is fairly not blowout proof, but he will get run in the blowout because he does come off the bench, similar to Bogdanovic.
Yeah, Bogdanovic. Yeah, I mean, I love him still, especially his price on DraftKings at 4.5K. It's a tough decision between him and Eric Gordon. I know Eric Gordon's going to probably get 6 to 8 minutes more than Bogdanovic on a game-to-game basis. But Bogdanovic obviously a great player, and I've been riding him all year. But now that team is so deep, now that they have Harrison Barnes, his minutes are taking a step back, 26, 28 minutes per game. And he really has to be making his shots and being productive while he's out there in order to pay off that price tag. But I don't mind Bogdanovic. Any price picks? Yeah, we have our price picks already posted on our website. If you use our code to deposit, let us know, and we will give you our picks for free. Just let us know when you deposit. What do you think of James Johnson and Barnes tonight? I mean, I'm not really on James Johnson tonight, unless you're trying to drop a score on FanDuel. But Barnes, yeah, I don't mind Barnes. Going to play 30, 32 minutes, but it is Harrison Barnes. He doesn't do much outside of scoring. I think his price on DraftKings, he's sub 5K over there. I think it's a pretty solid play over there.
And just for price picks, I don't have any price picks up on the website, but I gave out 2 free price picks on my NHL video. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out. Gave out 2 price picks towards the end of it. So if you want to skip ahead, you can do that too.
Right. Bogdan, Gordon, or Bullock? Yeah, I'm off of Bullock, but between Bogdan and Gordon, it's really, really close. I think I slightly prefer Gordon in the minutes that he's going to be having in a pace-up matchup as well. So I think I like Eric Gordon slightly more than Bogdan. Thoughts on D'Angelo Russell? I mean, I don't mind Russell. I think he's too expensive on FanDuel, and then on DraftKings, I'd rather pay down a little bit and get Damian Lillard. What's your thoughts on Clay and Cp3? Yeah, Cp3 one of my favorite plays in the entire slate, especially on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, even then, I like Cp3 quite a bit. Klay Thompson's Klay Thompson. He's appropriately priced. It's more of a GPP play for him, or for me, but I don't mind him.
Didn't he drop 37 in one quarter versus the Kings?
Yeah, this was the matchup.
It was the Kings. Yeah, it's a similar matchup. Yeah. Pace up spot, bad at defending the 3-point shot. So he's certainly in play for GPPs, but maybe on DraftKings where you get the 0.5 bonus for 3-point shot.
Right. Who are your riders so we can talk to them and chat for advice too? Yeah, I mean, we're going through interviews right now. We have a couple tonight, or one tonight. And they'll be in the Slack chat to help you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
LeBron or Giannis? Yeah, personally, I'm going with LeBron tonight, especially if he gets the starting point guard position again, and Rondo remains on the bench because he performs just a lot better when he's playing the point, especially in terms of DFS.
I thought Lillard was questionable. I believe he's in now, right?
Yeah, he's in now. Yeah, he's ruled in. I mean, if he was ruled out, CJ McCollum would be the lock of the slate. CJ McCollum's still a great play on FanDuel at 6.4K.
Right. I saw a question about him earlier. Yeah, he's a great point per dollar play on FanDuel.
For sure. Is Karis LeVert off his minutes limit? Also CP3 or Booker or both? Yeah, so Karis LeVert's minutes are pretty up in the air, but I would expect him to get between 28 and 32 minutes, which he can easily pay off his price tag on both sides. And then, what was the other question? CP3 or Booker? Yeah, I slightly like CP3 more. It's really close for me, though. Booker obviously facing a Cleveland team that's ranked dead last in terms of defensive rating. And TJ Warren remains out, so I don't think Booker's a bad play by any means. In GPPs, I would like Booker more than CP3, but if I'm talking cash games, I'd rather have CP3.
Yeah, that one's close. That one's real close.
Where'd your bankroll management end for the last day before break, Taylor? It's at 183 right now, so we up 183% in 10 days of using the all access pass.
What about Tyler Johnson on Fanduel? We talked about Tyler Johnson a bit earlier. I think he's in play for me on Fanduel primarily because point guard's a little funny on Fanduel. As far as I like Chris Paul a lot, but there's a catch to like every other guy. I like Tyler Johnson. There's a lot of sharp money coming in on the Suns. They opened at I believe they opened at like +2, and now they've shifted to I think a pick'em. At least I have them moving towards a pick'em. And I believe I believe there is a fair amount of sharp money coming in. I know, and I can see it rightfully so. So I like getting some exposure to the Suns. Tyler Johnson's a cheap way to do so. He's only averaging about 0.6 fantasy points per minute, but you could see that going up as we've seen in his Miami days. Yeah,
and it doesn't hurt that the over under already rose 2 points.
Right.
Melton? Nah, I'm not on Melton now that Tyler Johnson's there. Green or Nurkic? I mean, they're different price ranges. I'd probably take the savings on Green, though, although I think Nurkic is a great play, barring foul trouble in a pace-up game. The Nets have been the fastest team in the league over the past 2 months, so it's a good spot for Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic's price has gone down. It's been dropping steadily just because he's been in foul trouble. And getting less minutes because of things like that. But barring foul trouble and blowouts, he should remain in the 30 to 32 minute area where he absolutely is going to crush that price tag. He averages like almost 1.3 fantasy points per minute. He just struggles to get those minutes. But if you think he gets those minutes, he's an amazing play on both sides. That's the only other point guard, or on FanDuel, that's the only other center in that price range of DeMarcus Cousins I would consider going to. He's just a couple hundred more than Cousins, but I still like Cousins more.
Thoughts on Osman? Just for the record, guys, a great way to ask your questions. If you could include the website like DraftKings, FanDuel, what you're playing on, that'd be great. Just so that, and if you want to ask like point per dollar wise, straight up, that way we can give you a more detailed response too. Do you guys like Wade tonight in DK Cash? Yeah, Wade's hinging on the Dragic news. I'm not sure. I don't believe we've gotten that yet.
We haven't gotten anything yet. I mean, they just said that he's available to play, but don't know if he's gonna play. So that's the only thing that's really holding me back from going really heavy on Dwayne Wade. But the more I looked into this slate, in the video I really liked Wade, and I still like Wade the same. It's just I think Eric Gordon and maybe Bogdanovic is a bit safer if we're not going to know this Goran Dragic news or what's going to go on with it, because there is a real possibility that we have no idea what's going on going into the slate, and Dragic may play. I mean, regardless, Dragic is only going to play like 12, 14 minutes. Anyways, he's been gone for a couple months. How long is this stream going to go on for? I don't know. Whenever.
I think we're planning on making them like hour-long streams, 45-minute to hour-long streams. Pretty long streams so we can get to like a bunch of stuff.
I think we're gonna. We should probably structure it better next time.
For sure.
I mean, whatever. If you guys want us to structure it a certain way, let us know, because we're open to anything really.
Right. Let us know you want to see the show go, because and picture myself on a split screen, not sitting next to him on a split screen, so it would be much easier for me to see the chat and talk like into an actual mic or like my own mic. But let us know who you guys want to see. We can go game by game. Yeah, we're gonna do this Monday through Friday daily. And yeah, we can go game by game. We can just do a straight Q&A. So let us know.
Yeah, man. And if you guys are wanting to enter the giveaway for a free season pass of any choice, make sure to subscribe and like this video right now, and you'll be entered into that giveaway that we give away every single Sunday. Strippers in the background. All right, nice comment, bro. Simmons or Kyrie, Fanduel. That's close, man. I'd probably pay up for Kyrie still. I know Simmons is pretty cheap at 8.7K. But with Tobias there now, I don't think he gets that big of a boost. Say Butler, I mean, I like Butler more than Richardson for sure.
I would say start game by game, then answer Q&As. I think that's a good.
Yeah, we could definitely do that game by game.
Like 30-minute game by game, 30-minute Q&A.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
We could definitely do that.
Yeah,
or like 45-15, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
We'll probably do that next time, tomorrow.
For sure.
Because yeah, we're gonna be doing this Monday through Friday. Carry it on into the MLB season.
Every day. And
then of course, if you're a member, you get to go to the private live stream and get all your Fanduel coming for you guys.
No, it's like FanDuel doesn't even address the issue of lineup selling.
There's just a lot of legal ramifications behind everything that is hard to explain.
Right, it's hard to explain like in this sort of environment. Over time, you guys will like just pick up on it because we're open about all that stuff. So,
Whiteside on FanDuel or not? I mean, he's cheap enough to be a good GPP play, but Cousins is right there. It's hard for me not to play Cousins. Favorite power forward plays on FanDuel. My favorite GPP play is probably Bagley. And then my favorite cash play is probably Draymond. Talking about the Sirens. Oh, yeah. They're gone now, though. Do you think 3 Suns too many on FanDuel? Man, that sounds...
It's tough. It's tough. The Suns are in a pace-down game. The Suns are 11th in pace since Feb 1st. But... The Cavs are like 27th where they've been all year. But again, there is juice on the over, sharp money on the over, sharp money on the Suns. And I'm inclined to follow that because I can see why with the Cavs defensive rating, et cetera, et cetera. So I think 3 Suns is fine, depending on who the 3 are, of course. But
one of them has to be Booker. And then I'm assuming you're playing like
Tyler Johnson
and Josh Jackson, which I don't think Josh Jackson's a bad play with TJ Warren still out.
Right.
He's been doing fairly well, especially compared to the beginning of the season. Harrison Bagley.
Harris or Bagley?
I mean, I like Bagley more than Joe Harris, if that's the question.
I think it's Tobias Harris.
Oh, Tobias Harrison Bagley. Yeah, I don't mind Tobias. I think I like Draymond more. It's close, though.
I think we're both kind of on the wait-and-see approach with these Philly usage rates with Embiid out and Tobias Harris and Boban in.
Yeah, because Embiid is out, but that team is full of players. I mean, they still have Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, JJ Redick, and they're facing a Miami team that's really good defensively. And actually, they're never mind. I was gonna say their team total dropped, but
how do you guys decide which position to punt? It's not so much a positional thing. I mean, it is a positional thing, but it varies slate to slate because you know how there's always like a weaker spot on FanDuel or you want to. I mean, there's so much strategy that goes into like where you're punting, but you also want to punt with a guy who has reasonable upside because if you're dropping their score on FanDuel, having them be a guy that could potentially put up a lot of points but also dud and drop the lowest possible score is also a thought that goes into it. So it varies slate to slate.
Yeah, it varies slate to slate. Like I was gonna say, it's just. I never go into a slate thinking I'm going to punt this position. Exactly. It's never like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Bogdanovich, Gordon, or Wade on DK. I'm going to rank him Gordon, Bogdanovich, then Wade, assuming we don't get this Goran Dragic news. How many minutes do you think Boban gets tonight? 18 to 20, somewhere around there. Boban lock button?
Not necessarily for me. No.
I think he's a good play, but...
Great play, yeah. Not lock button, though.
I like him more on DraftKings for sure, where you can play 2 centers. You can play him and Boogie, because at 3.5K, he's still probably one of the better cash game or value plays.
Right. But on FanDuel, sacrificing that price on DeMarcus Cousins is scary.
You guys select or suggest 2 studs, LeBron, Harden, Giannis, etc., or going for 1 and taking these mid-tier value plays? Yeah, we'll talk about that more in the private stream before locks or before lock for the members. Favorite punt tonight on Fanduel, not including Boban. See, I mean, Tyler Johnson's not a bad punt.
You feeling Boogie tonight, huh?
Yeah.
I'm feeling Boogie tonight. The Sacramento Kings, since Feb 1st, worst team in the league, second chance points allowed. I mean, obviously you got the revenge game, no minutes limit, or at least not as strict. So it'd be like 32, 33. Yeah. You could definitely see. And he's so cheap. It's like, I mean, the stars are aligning for this one, so I like it.
Horford or Whiteside on DK. I mean, they probably project pretty similarly. I don't know, can't talk. But I would take the upside with Whiteside over Horford. Take Boogie raw points at center and Fanduel. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a great player on Fanduel. Simmons or Butler better tonight? I think they're about the same. They project about the same, and Butler's cheaper, so I think I would rather go with Butler. Hackenberg or Woodside? I heard Hackenberg is the worst quarterback in the AAF, and he was by far the highest drafted quarterback in the NFL, which is telling of how good the Jets are at drafting.
And teams in general, honestly, man.
Right.
Because if the Jets didn't take him, someone else would have.
Somewhere, yeah.
In that first round. Or second round, whatever round he went in. Low on power forward.
With how many locks are on the lock sheet, it really depends on slate to slate. Harden or Giannis, it's close. LeBron?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Fave point guard on DK, probably Chris Paul. You think LeBron would wear the same Nike shoes Zion wore? If not, I'm not going to play him. I don't know, man. Green or Horford? I'll take Green there.
Klay Thompson and GPPs for me.
Yeah, GPP's only for me. Redick or Sexton DK? I'll probably take Redick.
Is Fox a good play on FanDuel? I had Kyrie, but I had to switch. Yeah, Fox is underpriced for sure on FanDuel.
Yeah, 7,000 is way too cheap. Is Kelly Olynyk a good play on FanDuel with Embiid out? I mean, I don't really. When the team's healthy and Derek Jones might play this game, when the Miami Heat are healthy, I really don't want to target them. Ben or CP3 on FanDuel? Probably CP3. Bledsoe and Gordon or Sexton and McCollum for FanDuel? Bledsoe and Gordon for me. Pretty easily, too. Alright, guys. You got any more questions? CP3 or Kyrie? I'm going to go with CP3 for the savings. Dwayne Wade's still a good value being a piece of Miami. Yeah, I mean, he would be the only guy I really want to touch on that team, but we need this tragic news. I don't even know if we'll get it before the slate locks, even though it is the first game of the slate. But around that price range, I'd rather probably play Eric Gordon, where I know he's going to play 34 to 36 minutes, or even Bogdanovich, who will play the same, if not more, than Wade in terms of minutes. Probably a bit less productive in those minutes, but Wade is kind of risky in that sense if we don't know the tragic news. Can you rank Harden, LeBron, and Giannis? LeBron first, and then, I don't know, whatever you have money for between Harden and Giannis. Probably Harden. I have Winslow in my lineup instead of Tyler Johnson. Is that a good idea on DK cash games? I mean, they're quite drastically different prices.
Right, that's what I was looking at. They're about 1,000 different. So it depends what you're doing with that 1,000, honestly.
And if we get the tragic news for Winslow, because Winslow will take the biggest hit if Dragic is back. Whenever Dragic is back, Winslow pretty much dies because He's a really unproductive player, but with Tyler Johnson and Dragic being gone lately, he's been running the point. So that's why he's been doing so well. So if he's not running the point, he's going to be an awful, awful play, especially at that price. Or do you feel the 76ers would run small ball tonight? I mean, it's definitely possible. I wouldn't be surprised. Boban's on Prize Picks? He is. Oh, they just added some. Marcus Morris got moved up to 26.5.
Boban at 28.1. You taking the over or under on Boban at 28.1?
I think I take the under.
I take the under too on that.
I think that's a pretty good play. Under Boban at 28.1.
It's just there's a lot of just like you guys are saying. Do you think Philly runs small? It's like either one of these teams could switch it up and run small. So it's almost like double the risk because you could see a team going with, or you could see these guys going with like Amir Johnson, which isn't even that small, or Jonah Bolden at the 5. And then you could see Miami going with something like James Johnson at the 4 or Bam at the 5 or something where you don't need Boban out there.
Right. Spoelstra is a smart coach, and I think they benefit to not have Boban on the court that much just because he is so dominant in the limited minutes that he's out there. So I think Spoelstra will try to keep him off the court and run a bit smaller. So I was on Boban quite well, I mean, I have the same feeling about Boban as I did earlier. He's just so cheap where I think he pays off his price tag. But over here on Prize Picks where his over-under is at 28.1, I'll almost certainly take the under on that. He's going to have to play like 20-plus minutes to score that. And I don't even know if he's going to play that many minutes.
You can check out the NHL video.
Check out the NHL video because with Prize Picks you can cross.
You can cross sport. Click on NHL.
You can go to get that Boban one and then go over to NHL and then he gave away some of those.
The NHL ones haven't even changed yet. The 2 that I gave out, so they're still sitting there. 2 defensemen. So I mean,
right.
I check out the video. It's towards the end. You can check it out. I mean, you still have over an hour with Lark, so you got time. And play NHL, man. It's good.
Man.
It's good to diversify your sports. It's good to.
It was almost good that the All-Star break happened so you guys could see how good our NHL product is.
Right.
Rondo tonight, yeah, I don't even think Rondo's going to be starting. And if he continues to come off the bench, he's not going to get very minutes. The only reason he got over 30 minutes last time was because McGee and Ingram were in serious foul trouble and they were forced to play Rondo. So I think they're trying to keep Rondo off the court and play LeBron at point more. Still like Morris at 26 on Prize Picks. I mean, I don't mind it.
I do. I like that.
I still think he gets 28, 29 fantasy points. So
what was he at when you sent him out?
It's like 23.
20. Oh, yeah.
It was like super low.
I think I'd bet the over on Marcus Morris up to like close to 28.
Yeah.
Which is a little over 5x on Fanduel, which I think he gets. So NHL was lit. No problem, man. No problem. Check out the videos if you want to sign up. LocksDFS.com.
Yeah, new website should be up in a couple of days. Just fixing a couple minor things in it, and
you guys will like that. You guys will like what that new website comes with. All the sports.
Yeah, there's a lot of new things.
All the sports in one place. So it'll be great.
Any thoughts on Brogdon tonight on FanDuel? I mean, I guess I don't mind him on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, I believe he's 5K, which is just way too cheap. And his production really doesn't come from his usage. So with Mirotic out there, it doesn't really affect him all that much. And he's just too cheap at 5K, where he's going to play 32, 34 minutes, barring a blowout. But most of the games they play are blowouts, and that's why his minutes are down, and that's why he's only 5K. But if the game stays close and competitive, all these Bucks should eat. And it's a game versus the Boston Celtics, which should remain close. Spread is only at 5.5. Not really much movement. There is zero movement in either direction. So that game, if that game stays close, the Bucks should fare pretty well. But Giannis has struggled against the Celtics notoriously over the years, especially this year. He only averages like between 48 and 50 fantasy points per game against the Celtics. So I'm not really that high on Giannis. LeVert good tonight? Yeah, I think he's too cheap. Joe Harris on DK 4,200 and been getting about 30 DK points per game recently. I mean, they're just getting healthier and healthier now. LeVert's back. Alan Crabb's back. he needs the minutes to produce, because the only thing he does is shoot threes. And so if he's not out there enough to shoot a ton of threes, he's not going to pay off that price tag, even though 4,200 is really cheap. I think I would rather pay a couple hundred more, get up to like Wade, Eric Gordon, or Bogdan Bogdanovic. Barnes on Fanduel, I don't mind it. It's not the worst play. I think I'd rather have JJ Redick in that price range, though. Horford, I don't mind Horford, but I like Green more. Butler or Booker on Fanduel, I know. How close is that? I think I slightly prefer Booker against Cleveland, albeit a slow team. They are awful on defense. Not even close. We were just talking about Boban's over under at 28.1. Now it's down to 24.5. You guys must have.
That's right about where I would bet it. 34.5 is right about where it's like.
Right.
That's what I'd bet it.
Now that's a question where I don't even really want to bet either way.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that anymore.
But
yeah,
you guys must have bet that fast.
That's the thing with PrizePicks. It's still a new site, obviously. So as any book operates, it moves based on the money that comes in. So it's like, well, once we get more people on the PrizePicks and playing on the site, then the more you bet, the less it'll impact the actual line, because there'll be other people betting on the opposite direction. So
yeah,
I don't give it time with that. Give it patience
for sure. I don't mind the over on Devin Booker at 40.9 either.
Sure,
that's pretty solid. They're watching your stream. Who is?
Hopefully, the more viewers, the better.
Yeah, guys, make sure you're subscribed. We're going to be doing this Monday through Friday. Drop a like as well. Helps us out more than you would imagine. Best power forward plays on FanDuel. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much Draymond Green. And then in GPPs, I really like Bagley. I think he has a ton of upside.
Same time every day, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll ask you guys in this chat, what time do you guys prefer? Because we have a private chat for the members only where we go extensively into everything and answer literally every single question posted in the chat just for the members and stuff. So it can't be before lock. It's anywhere from like noon to 4 Eastern time. So whenever in there you guys prefer, we will do that. This time is perfect. Yeah, I mean, this time works for sure.
This time works well for us, too, especially with hockey. It's like a kind of a gap in hockey where the news comes out in a little bit and it comes out earlier in the day. So it works well for me as well.
Right. Curry or Durant, not sure who will go off, but my money says Curry. I mean, yeah, on DraftKings, I always side with Curry just because of the 3-point bonus. Yes, this time. Yeah, we'll probably end up keep doing it this time. It works out well.
Cool. Whatever it's called. Of course, man. No problem. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. Should we call this? I guess.
Yeah. We'll take a couple more questions and we'll head out. Got some other things to take care of. What about Kuzma tonight? I mean, it depends on the lineup. If Rondo is out of the starting lineup, I love Ingram, love Kuzma. It's going to be a great game against the Houston Rockets. Going to want to have a ton. I will say this. You're going to want to have a lot of players in these last two games. By far the highest scoring games of the night. Who were top picks just got here? What do you mean? Just in general?
Point per dollar wise on which site. If you specify that, we can answer that for you.
DeMarcus Cousins.
For so.
Chetty and Kuzma or Green and Hood? I don't want to play Hood. Probably Chetty and Kuzma. All right, guys. I think we are going to head out. If you guys like this, liked us doing this, make sure to subscribe, like this video. Try out PrizePicks. Let us know how you did on PrizePicks. But we'll be back tomorrow around the same time. And then we're going to continue to do this Monday through Friday. Probably update the live stream. It's kind of it's looking rough, but it'll get better. But anyways, best of luck tonight. And until next time, peace.